Welcome to Learning Technologies Tech Break. I will be guiding you through the tools that you can utilize when you open a Google Doc. First, let's go to googleapps.truman.edu and choose the Drive triangle. From here, you can open a new doc. Docs is quite similar to an older version of Microsoft Word, so the format will look somewhat familiar. You have two options from where you can open a new document. You can either click on this waffle icon by your username and access the dot icon here. The doc icon is blue, and if you begin to use this program regularly, you can click and move this app so it's the first one you see. Simply click and drag it to wherever you want it to be for your convenience. The other way to open a new Google Doc is to go over to the plus sign for New and click Google Docs. And now you have a new tab open while you still have your Drive tab open. One of the benefits of having Google Docs is that it automatically saves while you're typing. So to begin this document, click on the untitled document, which it then highlights, and simply type in your title. I'm going to call this Week 1 Assignments. And you'll notice that it says saving, and now this document is saved. Yet you can still undo any changes that you have made. Begin typing as you normally would, and that way we can start looking at some of the options in the toolbars. I'm going to type in assignments for an English class, so we'll begin with research paper, one area of the 1920s prohibition era corruption. And because I'm making this document as if it were something I would share with my students, so I can give them a general idea of what is going on this week. Notice that it is automatically numbering as I go, just like Word. It assumes it knows what I want to do. On Friday. Okay. Now under File, you will see nearly the same options that you do in other word processing programs. One that you might need is Page Setup. This is where you can change the layout from portrait to landscape. You'll notice the margins are 1 inch set as default. You can always change those. Under Edit, you will find Copy and Paste, Undo, Redo. In View, you can change how you see this document on the screen. Insert gives you the options as to what you can add characters, objects, page breaks within this document. It also gives you the option to comment. To comment does not show on the actual document. It's a notation for you or for anyone with whom you share this document to read. So when students share a document with you, you can make comments in the margins without ever changing the original submission. So if you highlight a word or words and you add a comment, I can add an extra notation here, minimum 500 words. And now my comment over here is indicated by a plus sign. And once the student has read that or seen it, they can click Resolve. Comment disappears. Format breaks down the font and how it can be used. This can be important for math and chemistry professors who need to utilize the subscript and superscript options. If I bold this assignment, you'll see that the B is now highlighted so that it's indicated that it is highlighted. It also says, and all changes are saved in Drive. You will notice that this makes the comment every time you change something. Format allows you to change the line spacing. So if you wanted to do double or single, add a space after before each item, you have those options. Tools has word count, so to go with my assignment requirement of having 500 words, I can highlight this, go to Tools, check word count, and it tells me I only have 28 words. Past tools, you'll see add-ons, and Google Docs has so many features. However, if you're interested in some more features, you can go here. Most of what you need is already within the Google Docs that you have. And then, of course, if you have any issues, you can go to the help. One thing you might want to do is go to keyboard shortcuts. And for me, you see so many options here with the individual options within it. And one that I use quite a bit under editing is going to be find. I have students who like to overuse certain words, so I have them do Control F, and a dialog box pops up over here, and you can type in whatever word that you're looking for. One that my students overuse is that. You'll see I have 0 out of 0. And it will highlight it yellow, 1 of 1. And this allows you to scroll through the paper to find each one to fix it as necessary. The second line of tools are going to be the same tools that you find within these tabs, just more convenient for you. You have, of course, the undo button. You can change your text. You can change the font, the size, the emphasis that you play with on it. You have links. You can add more comments, images. Here's your left, right, center, and justification for the margins. You can change your line spacing here. Here is where you can use your numbered title like what I have, your bullets, indentations. The T with a slash in it changes all the formatting that you already have, and this pencil indicates editing mode. So when I have a student send a paper to me, I can edit the paper, make suggestions, but it does not actually mark the original submission. When I return it, or when the other person accesses it to see my suggestions, they can resolve them by simply ignoring them or accepting them and changing them as necessary. This dialog box opens all the comments to see what I have added to, marked as resolved, and those will also show up on your notifications if you ask to do that. This blue rectangle is the share button. Right now it's private only to me. When I click on this, I can add addresses of people I want to share it. I can add a note to explain why I'm sharing this document. Sometimes that helps to make certain that it's not spam, so people know that it's a legitimate document. This gives the person the option to edit or to simply comment or view, that they cannot make any changes. Another option is to get a shareable link, copy and paste that into your email, and this way the person has access to it without actually having to put in the attachment within the email. One other option I like to have is this. Under File, you will find what's known as the version history. When you click here, see version history. This will tell you the current version that I'm using right now, when I created it. I can also see who's done what submission. If you have a group project, you can see who's done what additions, subtractions, edits, whether or not they've finished it within a time frame. So if you say the submission has to be complete by 4:00 p.m., then you can see when the last edit was made. Once the document is shared, you will be able to see here where it says all changes in Drive. You'll be able to click on that and see when the last edits were done. So if someone has shared it to you and then you see that the timestamp it was changed after the submission, if that's something you want to work with as well. If you click on the Drive tab, you will see that I have this week 1 assignment has now been placed down here alphabetically in my actual drive. So at any point in time when I wanted to re-access it, I can find it here. If I wanted to add this document to one of my folders, I can click on it and simply drag it up to the folder, wait for it to highlight blue, and now I've saved that to the Truman folder. And if I accidentally hit it on the wrong folder, I can click undo, and now my action is undone. Now, also within this, if I have a document that's a Word document that I want to be able to work on in the cloud so that it's not stationary to my computer, I click on New. I go to Google Docs. And this is one way to do it, not the only way. Go to File, Open, and this new box will give me the option to upload. I can drag a file here, or I can select one from my computer. And I should have a Word document. Double click. Wait for it to upload. And now I have paper dates and assignments for my American Lit class. You can see that I have due dates, explanations, and this is in almost the same format as it was in Word, the most recent version of it. I can now make edits. I can share this with my class. They can see it, and when I do share it, more than likely I would share it so that they can only view it, because I wouldn't want them to change this assignment. And while not all formatting is equal, it is similar enough to allow any edits to occur. And now this document can be edited. Again, since it's paper dates, I probably wouldn't have it, but I can share it. I can have comments. Students can highlight and have comments on this, or papers can be worked on together or collaboratively. If you go back to File and choose Download, once I have made any of the changes that I wanted to in Google Docs to this particular document or file, I can now resave it as Microsoft Word, or because every version of every computer is different, PDF might be the simplest thing to save it as, and to send through as an attachment through an email. Having Google Docs can simply simplify many aspects of assigning and collecting student work and allowing for student collaboration. I hope this has helped you see the benefits to using Google Docs. And this concludes today's tutorial on Google Docs.